Good evening and welcome to the Clarets Match Delayed, and we bring you cold commentary from Saturday's crucial game at Turf Moor. Could Burnley back up that victory last weekend against Chelsea? A marvellous performance where Chelsea went down to 9 men, but we still hung on to beat them 3-2 in the end. A dramatic game that could have gone either way. Today we take on a team at Turf Moor for the first home match of the season, where we take on West Bromwich Albion, or we took on West Bromwich Albion, I should say. And by the way, anyone who I will not be taking comments because this is a delayed stream, so the commentary was from 2 days ago. So please do not get in touch with us tonight by social media. We were going to cover the Manchester City game tonight, obviously, but the summit's cropped up. But we are hoping, if the game is somehow on TV, Burnley against Blackburn, we hope to show that one live for you as well. Let's hope so anyway. Well, here we are then. Burnley, having had a good start to the season with their very weakened. Well, they had a good strong 11 to be perfectly fair, but this was always going to be a really tough ask against the West Brom side, who are strengthened well in Tony Pulis and got the key signing as far as the bottom end of the market championship of the Premier League was concerned, with Jay Rodriguez. And of course, with that added factor of Jay Rodriguez coming back, that was always going to be a real humdinger. I'm sure he was going to get a good reception. He did a remarkably good job for Burnley Football Club. We all know that, but this was about getting 3 points, and this was not going to be an easy game by a long chalk. So let's get back to obviously since then there's always been moments. So. But that opinion on Chris Wood and how good or bad the board have done in that particular side, that's for another video. But I'm sure you'll hear my Clarets opinions on that, and I'm sure you'll hear plenty more on the transfer situation on LTF, which again will be coming up on Saturday. Now, this is a game I predicted on LTF Burnley would win by a goal to nil. Would I be right or would I be badly wrong? West Brom won their first match quite comfortably against Bournemouth. They were looking for 2 wins in a row at the start of the league season since Big Ron Atkinson was in charge of the baggage back in 1978. So this was always going to be a tough test of Burnley's credentials. Could they get 3 points on the board, or would West Brom, who have certainly had the Indian sign of them in certain seasons? Burnley have always struggled against West Brom in any league, so this was always going to be a tough test. It wasn't as easy as we all thought it was going to be, considering even despite the fact that we beat Chelsea last week. So let's get back to something like 10-3 on Saturday, where the whole of the game, full 90 minutes coming right up for you here on this YouTube channel, and it was going to be a dramatic game. Let's see what happened as the teams came out onto the field to start the game, and it was going to be something very spectacular, that is for sure. Welcome along to Turf Moor for this big clash between Burnley and West Bromwich Albion. A remarkable atmosphere inside Turf Moor. Let's bring you the 2 lineups, starting with Burnley, of course. Tom Heaton starts in goal. Same back 4 as last week. Lowton, Tarkowski, me and Ward. 5 in the midfield. Gudmundsson, Cork, Henrik, Defoe and Brady, with Sam Vokes, the lone man, up top. There he is, Sam Vokes. On the bench, Pope, Taylor, Barnes, Westwood, Walters, Long and Scotty Arfield. So the same 11 essentially that beat Chelsea 3-2. I suppose if it ain't broke, don't fix it. West Brom line up with Foster in goal, a back four of Nyram, Dawson, I forget who that is, but it's certainly Chris Brunt there, of course. But certainly a real opportunity here for West Brom. Sorry, Phillips. The graphics actually escape me, but we'll Field, and certainly Field, Phillips, McLean, Rodriguez starts up front there. We'll give you the full lineup in a second because the graphics aren't exactly that good. Livermore is the captain, he plays in the centre of midfield. So we're up and ready to go as Jake Livermore gets us underway. The Baggies of West Brom getting us up and underway. Turf Moor buzzing again for the start of a new season. It always is wonderful when this new season gets up and running, as West Brom get it away up the field. So this will be a dogged and determined game here between both sides, and let's hope that the game lives up to all expectations. West Brom, of course, very tough to beat these days under Tony Pulis, and I think they've got one of the best managers for a long time at Albion. They finished very respectable 10th last season, and a chance here now because McLean has nicked it right off Lawton. He shoots across the face, deflected away, and it was a bit careless at right back there, Matt Lawton, and McLean just stowing down the left hand side, pulled the ball back across, and that should have easily been the first goal of the game to West Bromwich Albion. Given away here, Lawton just dilly-dallying on the ball at right back, and James McLean was very quick to close him down. The ball back across the goal, and in fact it got a nick off Tarkowski, in fact, and no harm in the end. It's gone to Burnley, but it should have been 1-0 to the Baggies inside 1 minute 20. A little bit of careless defensive play there, and it should have easily been the first goal, but Burnley's point of view, thank God it's a goal kick, and it's right footed clearance from Tom Heaton up towards the halfway line, just on the near side of the pitch as we look at it here. Ball's run out of play, so it will be a throw to be taken by Chris Brunt on the near side. Gudmundsson just didn't keep that in play. So still no goals here then at the turf, as Brunt now gets in on the left hand side. Chris Brunt started his career, of course, at Sheffield Wednesday, and he's certainly got a good experienced head about him, and I like that in a player, I suppose. Chris Brunt, he's a magnificent footballer, terrific skill on the ball. As Brunt crosses in again from the left hand side, headed out, and again it'll come here for Nyram on this right hand side for West Brom. Once again on the touchline, hooked away once more. Still 0-0 as we played nearly just over 2.5 minutes of this first half, and West Brom starting very well on the front foot, but an offside flag has gone up against former Burnley man Jade Rodriguez. A free kick it is to the Clarets. They will want to start probably very well here this afternoon on the front foot, and we'll expect that. We'll expect that from them a little bit as this first half goes along. One ball over to the far side where the ball's touched back from Brady, and back in field it goes, and a good marauding run there by Ward, but can't keep that in. Phillips saw to that it wouldn't be the case, and a throw in it's been given as Matt Phillips, one wicked player via Blackpool, QPR and one or two other teams. Hasn't got a particularly good record at Turf Moor, Matt Phillips. I don't think he's ever won there as a player at Turf Moor. Certainly didn't win when he was at QPR or Blackpool visiting here, and Burnley do turn it on whenever he's a visitor at the turf, but at the moment they've yet to really come into gear with 4 minutes of the first half gone. West Bromwich Albion 0, Burnley 0. Here's Ben Mee on the halfway line, just to the left hand side now of the centre circle, feeds it into Robbie Brady. Brady back to Ward. Ward now just touching it back, and apologies for not bringing you the full lineup of West Brom. Our stream is a little, our feet towards the ground as that shot comes in from about 25 yards out or so, and it's just over the top from Jeff Henrick, the former Derby man, and a goal kick to the baggies of West Bromwich Albion. And Volk's actually jumping for it in the air. There it came to Brady, and it's just to Henrick rather, and it just went over the top. And a goal kick it is. It's a good atmosphere inside Turf Moor, as it always is on opening game of the season, certainly opening home game of the season. Burnley, of course, won 11 games last season at Turf Moor, which was, or won 10 of them last year. Some famous victories in that. 2 wins over the Merseyside clubs, Liverpool and Everton. They drew 2-2 here towards the back end of the season for West Brom. It was quite a good game, really. Some votes scoring a brace on that day. Here's Cork now, just midway inside his own half. Takes the ball down. And now a chance here for Burnley now to start to come forward as Tarkowski hits a long ball, asking a lot of Wharton, who won't be able to keep it in. And a throw to West Bromwich Albion. And so far so good at the moment as far as the clean sheet is concerned, although a bit of disappointment really. Let's just give you that West Brom signing full. Foster, Nyram, Dawson. Zaggy is the centre back we didn't mention. Chris Brunt, he's the other back four member. Then it's Barry, Phillips, Rondon, Livermore, Field, McLean, and Rondon is one of the substitutes, sorry. And yeah, so Jay Rodriguez is the man up front. Tony Pulis on the far side there, just managing a bit of a smile here at the moment. As Nyram now takes the long throw there for West Brom. Comes to Henrick though instead, and now a chance here for Henrick to come forward, but he's lost possession. McLean certainly running himself ragged in the opening exchanges of the match, and then the ball back to Tom Heaton very calmly as we come up towards almost the 7th minute of the first half. 2 West Brom players going for that one there in the air. But they do just enough there, and the ball over towards McLean, left hand side, and miscontrolled it, out for a throw, and almost halfway inside the Burnley half. Gareth Barry is well, he's one of the most experienced members of the Premier League with way over 600 odd appearances now. It's coming up towards 700 appearances. He's been a stalwart for the Premier League for the last sort of 17-18 years or so, since breaking into that Aston Villa side, come back to the Midlands, and a spell, started his career at Aston Villa, then went on to Manchester City, and then had a good 4 years at Everton where he did really well, and then obviously now at West Brom and start the new season. That's a good astute signing from Tony Pulis. In fact, he joined this week, I should say. Burnley, as things are hearing, Chris Wood is about to sign for us as Lawton goes forward, looks to try and take on the defender, and that is run out of field, pitch, and Azagi did very well to shepherd Lawton out. Former Aston Villa player himself, Matt Lawton. Ben Foster defending the end where Robbie Blake scored past him when he was a Manchester United goalkeeper almost 8 years to the day now. Ben Foster, in fact 8 years today. Remember that right foot volley for Blake from the right hand end of the penalty, right hand side of the penalty area, just inside. It was just a marvellous volley, and Ben Foster had no chance on that particular occasion, winning that Manchester United goal. And United went on to lose that game at Turf Moor 1-0. It was also remembered for Brian Jensen's heroics when he saved from Michael Carrick just on the stroke of half time, and then made several saves to deny the likes of Berbatov and Rooney. And on that occasion there was just no way through past Ryan Jensen that night. Burnley won their first, that was their top flight victory for 33 years that particular night, 8 years ago. But at the moment it's still nil apiece here at Turf Moor in this game, and I think one of the West Brom players has got blood on his shirt. He's got a bit of a cut towards the top of the left eye, and he's having to change his shirt. Both teams incidentally wearing black armbands as a mark of respect for the victims who tragically died in that those horrible events in Barcelona this week, and our sympathies as well go out to, certainly on this YouTube channel, to those who died tragically in Barcelona this week, as Billups gets the corner off Ben Mee, and a corner to West Brom, which will be taken on the far side. 10 minutes of the first half gone. Still Burnley 0, West Bromwich Albion 0, and the chance here for this corner kick. And now opportunity beckons here for Albion. Burnley have got a mark upfield. He's just in on the goalkeeper there. Chance here for Craig Dawson to come up from the back, and his centre half partner, who's now been waved back on. Barry's just on the edge of the D. Brunt will take the corners, as he often does for West Brom. Zaghi, the man in there, so too is Rodriguez, and it will be floated in to the penalty area by Brunt towards Rodriguez, who flicks it on, but into the arms of the goalkeeper, who had to come through a bit of a crowd scene, admittedly, but he did very well there, Tom Heaton. J. Rodriguez did really well. As Stephen Defoe goes on a bit of a canter forward. Sam Vokes was there too. And Zaghi looks a good player. This is the incident earlier when him and Dawson both went for the ball and completely got in each other's way almost. They did get in each other's way. Still 0-0 here as Niam takes the throw. And don't worry, you've not missed anything at the moment. The game's just taking a little while to come to the boil. As Sean Dyche did a magnificent job in obviously stabilising Burnley as a Premier League outfit, but we really need some pace up front, I think, and we are lacking in one area, and that is pace. And I think he will have to take a lot of criticism, I think, Sean Dyche. Okay, the Chelsea win was a great one for starters, but it will all be worth nothing if we don't get something here out of this game. 4 points would still be a nice benchmark, considering the squad has got no pace whatsoever, no acceleration. But here's Stephen Defoe trying to play it out towards the far side, and I think this is going to be a tough ask for Burnley. Cork, who had a magnificent game, plays it out to Tarkowski. Tarkowski now on the halfway line. Plays it inside to Henrik. Henrik on to Cork. Cork now on the far side. And here's Ben Mee. Mee gets it back. Now Heaton has it. Heaton in an all orange goalkeeper's jersey now gets the ball forward. Gets it forward. One ball up towards Sam Vokes, but can't find Gudmundsson. I really do hope that Dyche gets some pace in the side, because that's what Burnley are really lacking, and I do think we need a good centre half. Nothing against Tarkowski, who, to be fair, had a good 70 minutes, 60 odd minutes against Chelsea, but was found out by Morata's great positioning, and really that was schoolboy defending from James Tarkowski, and he should have done a lot better than that. Here's Stephen Defoe now on the right hand side, over the halfway line he trots, finds A chance here for Robbie Brady. Brady now forward about the shot for a moment, but he delayed it and found Ward. Ward trying to get it forward, but it's a throw to Burnley, almost over with a penalty. Out came off Matt Phillips as we come towards a quarter of an hour of the first half gone here at Turf Moor. West Brom didn't sell their allocation of tickets, so there's a few empty seats there that have been covered up in the Ladbroke stand. It's not called the David Fishwick stand anymore because David Fishwick himself pulled out the sponsorship deal with all the prize money Burnley have accumulated. Fishwick still has a presence within the football club, but has withdrawn his sponsorship of the cricket field end. As Burnley come clattering forward now, trying to make something pay, but it's out of play on the far side. So a throw to West Bromwich Albion with a quarter of an hour gone then of this first half here at Turf Moor. Both teams won in their first game, so both teams coming into this match with 100% records, but it will all count for nothing if one of these two teams loses here this afternoon. And we definitely hope from a Burnley point of view it's going to be the Clarets, but West Brom, tough to beat under Pulis. Burnley now seeing a lot of the ball now as this first half goes on. Tarkowski now playing it out to Ben Mee. Mee touches it on and looks up to see what might be on, and he's seen Jack Cork in a bit of space in the side of the centre circle, and he sprays it towards the right hand side. Van Lawton is no slouch. He's probably the paciest player we've got in the team, and he's won his team a corner. That's brilliant. Off McLean. Claimed it was a throw, but with 16 minutes gone, Burnley have forced a corner. Or have they forced a throw? I think they have forced a throw. I thought he spiked for a corner, but he must not have done. It's a throw, and it's short to Cork. On it goes here. Chance here for Henrik, who shoots just wide. That was a very good opportunity there for Burnley. Caught it well on his right foot from almost 20 odd yards, and just wide at the far post of Ben Foster. Really poor marking here for West Brom. Didn't pick up Henrik at all, and if it had been on target, I'm not sure Ben Foster would have got there. He wouldn't have done. He was very, very relieved to see that one just go a couple of yards wide in the end. But a good effort. Ben Foster would have been in real trouble there if that had gone in. And still Burnley trying to pressurise West Brom. A pressurised team. They didn't have much possession of the ball in most of their wins last season at Turf. But what they did is stay behind the ball. But they are playing a Tony Pulis side. And Tony Pulis has a good record against Burnley. Took 4 points when he was Stoke manager, when Burnley were when he was in charge of Stoke in 2009-10. He took 3 points at the Britannia and then a point at Turf Moor. As Cork comes forward, finds Goodman on the right hand side, plays it infield to Brady. Brady now just drifted into the middle. Brady playing a little bit ball in there, but he can't find his Republic of Ireland colleague Stephen Ward, and the goal kick it is to West Brom. In 4 Premier League meetings between the two teams, 2 have been 2-2 draws here at Turf Moor, and the 2 games at the Hawthorns has finished 4-0 to West Brom on both occasions. We covered that one live, the latest one live from the Hawthorns last season, and it was a really disappointing Monday night affair where it was terrible weather and we were just totally outfoxed in every single department. It's a throw here to the Clarets. 0-0 it is here at Turf Moor. Stephen Ward to take the throw, and a good long throw it is. Touched on by Vokes, can't find Brady. In fact, he did just about find Brady, but Field was in there pretty strongly. It's a throw for West Brom. Just had over 18.5 minutes gone. In fact, 18 minutes and 44 seconds have been played, and West Brom again looking forward, again looking to try and get that opening goal. McLean, who looked lively at the start, has found Brunt. Brunt has kept that in beautifully well with the back heel, but can't get the ball forward. And again now Barry, one of the best experienced players you could get, and I think he's got a good. I think Pulis has got a good player, a good professional there in Barry. And here is Rodriguez, former Burnley man, of course. Tarkowski reading the situation okay there. Did well against J-Rod. We know how, and every Burnley fan will know that J-Rod is a tricky little customer, and maybe, as Mike Clarett said in a previous video, we should have signed him in the summer. But as we've said before, the board will always watch and see good opportunities slip by. As we come towards 20 minutes of the first half gone. In fact, Henrik won a free kick. Tom Heaton will take it just 10 yards from the halfway line on the right hand side. Everyone bar Tom Heaton is in the West Brom half, incidentally, as Heaton kicks right footed towards the edge of the penalty area where Vokes is jumping, or Tarkowski rather was jumping. In fact, a foul has been given against him. A free kick to West Brom. I know I didn't see what Tarkowski did anything wrong. I'd like to see that one again. I thought Tarkowski had won the header quite fairly. To me, Mr. Atkinson didn't agree. I'd like to see how that came about, because I thought it was a little bit soft. That's just my opinion on things at the moment, and I just think at the moment it's a bit cloak and dagger what Burnley are doing in the transfer window, by the way. And hopefully they'll get the right players in, and I hope they solve this pace problem. Our side meanwhile to West Brom, or against West Brom I should say. Going up towards the halfway mark of the first half, and here's Sam Vokes taking it on the right hand side, and well, might not be a throw. As we come up towards 1.5 minutes gone here at Turf, and plaster on there for the centre back Zaghi. Egazaki, I think that's how they pronounce it. So as West Brom now come forward again to try and get forward again with Brunt on to Dawson. We'll talk about Burnley signing here in the summer, as Nyren gets that one long and forward, and Rodriguez can't control it. It's a Burnley throw. We are alongside Burnley. It's been sung here in this magnificent arena here at Turf Moor. We're taking the throw, flicked on, still 0-0 folks. We haven't, and this Clarets Match Delayed. Remember, we might have Burnley's match with Blackburn coming up on Wednesday night perhaps. I thought it was Tuesday. We were going to do Liverpool. We might end up doing the Lancashire Derby in the League Cup yet, who knows, but we'll certainly have a live match on Wednesday for you, whether it's that or the Liverpool game. We will let you know in advance. Whichever game we are covering live, we will certainly do updates of the other one. As Ben Mee now gets the ball back, but he was under a lot of pressure there by Phillips, who claims a back pass, but nothing was given. I think Phillips might have touched that as well on that far side. Halfway through the first half, referee deciding that wasn't a back pass, and I think he was right to do so. Still 0-0 between Burnley and West Bromwich Albion in the Premier League, and no doubt at all who are the favourites for this game. West Brom looking, as I say, to win 2 games out of 2 for the first time since '78. It's Gudmundsson sends that ball in there, whips it in, and looked like a West Brom head. It came off, and he did it well. It's off Gareth Barry inside that penalty area. Lovely whip ball in from Gudmundsson with his left foot. A really rasping, curling cross, and it's a corner now. Burnley have got to make something count from here. An opening goal would just be the tonic for the Clarets as we come up to almost the 24th minute. Tarkowski and Mee both forward from the back. Vokes is there too. Brady to take the corner with his left foot from the left hand side. Brady left footed towards the back post. Ben Mee was lurking. Nyren was there too, and a goal kick. I think it is. No, it's a corner because it allows Mee and Ward. I just noticed Ward coming up towards that back post again, so it did come off Nyren last, so it is another corner now to Burnley. as we come up towards 24.5 minutes here at Turf Moor. So Millie and Tarkowski will attack again. Can they get on the end of things here? Here comes the corner in towards the 6-yard box. A chance here on the far side. It was Goodmanson with the shot, and then another shot blocked on the edge of the area. Falls for Jack Cork. Corked as well. In fact, it was Jeff Henrik who had the initial effort at the back post. Ball still in there. Still might be attacked there by Brady, but the goalkeeper's got it under control. And Foster in the end, but a little hairy moment then for West Bromwich Albion. That has not been kept in by Matt Lawton. It's a throw to West Brom. 25 minutes now just gone. There's the assistant just making sure that the flag was raised to West Brom. Remember, this is a fixture that goes back to the opening week of the opening day of the first season of the Football League, away back in 1888, when these two teams were just one or just two of 12 founder members of the original Football League, which in its first season was won by Preston North End. They won the league and FA Cup double without losing one single game at all. They were the original Invincibles, long time before Arsenal's version of that sort of team. Well, we won't know how attractive Preston's football was. He won it at a double back in 1888, but certainly Arsenal's winning their title in 2004 was scintillating stuff. But anyway, back to the present day, and it's Burnley now, West Brom now. We just had over 26 minutes gone. Here's Defoe now, 10 yards inside the West Brom half. Plays it in field to Goodmanson. Now Defoe to Henrik, just to the right of the D. Henrik plays it in field to Defoe. Making one or two things happen, Defoe. Good to see him now. Starting to get massive minutes under his belt. Goodmanson plays it in there towards the back post, but it's headed out by Nyren for West Brom. Rodriguez touches the ball back to Phillips. Phillips now marauding down there, West Brom right. The far side as we look from the television cameras. Burnley 0, West Bromwich Albion 0. Dawson has it for West Brom. 10 yards outside his own penalty area. Now Nyren. Nyren just sort of jogging very relaxed out towards the halfway line, not under no great pressure. Then Nyren plays a 1-2, plays a long ball forward. Ben Mee was there and out for a throw to West Brom. Signalled quite emphatically by with the linesman on the far side with the red and yellow flag. In fact, it's level with the penalty area. Nyren has got a good long throw repertoire, we're told. Is going to take it. It's going to be a run up into the area. There's a lot of West Brom players inside that box, and it's Nyren in towards the penalty area, flicked on by Phillips, but it's knocked away by Burnley. Then Brooks wins the next one, and the ball comes back again. Cork is in there to win the next ball, almost 10 yards outside his penalty area. Phillips now rolls down the right, gets to the byline, but Ben Mee was there first. Ben Mee knocking it out. Welks on the chase, halfway inside his own half. Burnley struggling to get out a little bit here. Here's Henrik, and he loses possession rather carelessly, but he was under pressure in all fairness to him. Burnley 0, West Bromwich Albion 0 at Turf 4. The Clarets Match Delayed. Here's Dawson now to Nyren. Nyren now playing that in towards Phillips, but loses out possession. Then Cork to win the next one. Good first half here now. If one of these teams can get a goal, I think the game will line it up as a contest, as we're now just literally just over 95 seconds away from half an hour being played here at Turf, and so far no goals as we make our opening visit to Turf Moor this season. Burnley 0, West Brom 0. There'll be plenty of Clarets matches this year, whether they're live and delayed. I'll bring them to you here on this YouTube channel. Here's Brunt. Brunt hits a long ball up towards the penalty area of Burnley, but Tom Heaton gathers it in on the far end of the area. West Brom in actual fact attacking the goal to our left, and Burnley to the right, just to remind you. Here's Tarkowski. Tarkowski now to Cork. Cork to Brady, to Henrik Robber, and then Cork back to Tarkowski. Now Henrik takes possession. Tarkowski again on halfway. Tarkowski hits a long ball in towards the penalty area. South Wilkeson's there. Goodmanson now. Goodmanson edging the area. Shoots just wide. Really lovely move from Burnley. Lovely ball forward from Tarkowski. Vokes flicked it on well into the path of Goodmanson. Took one touch with his left foot to control. The second touch also with his left foot to curl one. And he curled one about a couple of inches just wide of Foster, who was struggling there to get there again. Lovely header back from Vokes. Did really well there. 2 goals he got against Chelsea last week. I think maybe Foster might have had that far post covered, but there wasn't a lot to spare. Goodmanson struck that so well by the Iceland man. Really was an impressive shot, as we have now played half an hour exactly. Me to win the next one, and now Ward. Ward to get it away. And again, the header's being won rather vehemently. Still no way past either goalkeeper or either defence. Defence is almost certainly on top here at Turf Moor as Tarkowski hits a long ball forward. And Nyren will intercept on the far side for West Brom. Now Phillips down the West Brom right, gets it forward again. Ben Mee intercepts, and to Stephen Ward's real credit, ran a long way to get that ball and keep it in play and keep the game flowing. Good to see. Here's Ben Mee now, left hand side, gets it forward, down that far side, and Vokes does well, controls it and keeps it into again to his internal credit. And here is Brady getting the better of the defender Dawson, gets it into the middle of the area. Goodmanson with another good header. Yeah, I think it was going off target, but Foster just scampered away to his left. Wasn't to know that was off target. He had to try and get down and save the header. And Goodmanson getting into a good position in the centre, getting up above his defenders. I think probably it lacked a little bit of power. As I say, he wasn't going in anyway, but Foster, as you say, as we all know, is a goalkeeper that will not want to get beaten. He won't want to take the gamble of it going narrowly wide of the post. He's going to try and keep that ball going at all costs. One ball in, we'll find Tom Heaton, who's defending the goal to my left. And here's Ben Mee. Mee over towards the far side. Ward just doesn't do enough to keep it in play. West Brom get the throw, or do they? But Ward did keep it in play. Must have caught the West Brom man last. 32 minutes gone. Burnley 0, West Brom 0. Gary Megson is now Tony Pulis' number 2. A former manager here. He had some success here as West Brom manager back in 2001-2 when he went to Turf Moor and won 2-0. Jason Roberts, I think, getting a brace on that occasion. I'm sure all the Burnley fans will correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure Jason Roberts came up with a couple of goals that night, that Sunday night at Turf Moor, when they were playing games in those days at 6:15 in an evening on a Sunday. The bad old days of ITV Digital, which nearly sold Burnley Football Club down the river in terms of the way the ball played in towards the penalty area. Again, good cross from Phillips, but McLean just couldn't get there. And now Goodmanson now having to get it back to Tarkowski, who just hoops it up the field as far up the field as he can. But it won't reach halfway even. But Lawton will win the race with McLean and has to get it back to his goalkeeper. Made it a bit awkward for Heaton. Had to chest it and then chip it back to Lawton on the right hand side, and he did really well there, the goalkeeper. And Burnley in fact have won themselves a little bit to quote a Bruce Forsyth catchphrase, a Brucey bonus. Of course, Bruce Forsyth, who was one of the great entertainers, sadly died yesterday. So a few, maybe I've put in one or two of the old Brucey catchphrases as well to stir a few memories of older people who might have appreciated Bruce Forsyth. At the moment, no team look like the only Brucey bonuses that are going to be dished out of this game so far is a point apiece. Still a long way to go, mind you. Here's Jack Cork now for Burnley. He gets it long, and that's a good header on, and Brady on the chase. Well, he's bundled off Dawson there a little bit aggressively, I thought there, Robbie Brady, and he does say sorry in all fairness to him, to Dawson. It was a free kick right by the far corner flag. It was a stupid thing for Brady to do, and I think he acknowledged that, to be fair. Robbie Brady, he he is a terrific player, and we've seen him score a terrific free-kick goal against Chelsea last season. Nearly repeated the trick at Stamford Bridge last week in that 4-2 classic. As we now go towards the last 10, as we're heading rapidly now towards the last 10 minutes of the first half. Liverpool getting it forward up towards Nyram. Nyram's cross in towards Jay Rodriguez, who, to be fair, the Burnley defence have kept a very close watch on him, and I think that's testament to how well so far Tarkowski and May have done, and let's hope they keep it that way, because Tarkowski, Ben Mee is already is a convincing geezer. I like the guy. I think he's good for I think he's good as a centre half. James Tarkowski, since coming into the side, he's had 5 games and he's been found out in at least 4 of them, and he's still to convince me as a Premier League defender. He's got an opportunity here at the moment at the start of the season to really prove me wrong. Brunt will send it in from the right hand side, left footed in towards the penalty area, missed everybody there, but a good header out, and a corner it is there. Lawton just hooking it out, I should say. It's a corner now as we go well into the last 10 minutes plus any time added on for stoppages. Burnley 0, West Bromwich Albion 0 is the score at Turf Moor. Zaghi is in there, Dawson is in there, Barry's in there, Rodriguez is up at the near post as that corner comes in, and Dawson went up there, couldn't get any purchase on it. Livermore was in there, but there was a bit of jostling in fact by Jake Livermore, and a 3 kick to Burnley, former Tottenham and home man, also now club captain, and they've lost Darren Fletcher as well, West Brom, so they've lost a bit of influence there in that midfield. Darren Fletcher, he's one of the big players, he's gone to Stoke, who face off against Arsenal in the tea time kick-off. And here come Burnley now with Stephen Defoe over the halfway line, just cuts in towards the right hand side, and near side as we look here at Turf Moor, as we now come up towards 37, as we're ticking on now, we're now into the 37th minute of the game. Here's Henrik now for Burnley. 0-0 is the score between themselves and West Bromwich Albion. It's been a bit of a cagey affair, but still no scoreline at the moment, and I've enjoyed this game, even though we haven't had a shot on target yet. There's been some plenty of lovely build-up play, and Cord doing well, good skills there, and then the ball back here for Ward. Ward gets a teasing little cross in, folks, was half an inch away inside the 6-yard area from getting a positive header on that, and if he just grew a little bit taller, I think he would have got a head on that, and Ben Foster might have been having to be forced to make at least a save from that. But full marks to Jack Cork. There was the cross. In fact, I think folks was probably just offside, but it was a lovely move, and in the end came to nothing. Box just looked offside as that ball was lifted into the penalty box, and there wasn't much to spare, to be fair. Ball back with Ben Foster. I'll keep by him. And that will reach Rodriguez. Well, no, Livermore's there. Livermore does well, and he goes down. Free kick to West Brom. Referee Atkinson running straws the scene of the crime. Although I think Livermore made a bit more of a meal of it. There was certainly a little tap on the back, but I think Livermore made the most of it. Made a little bit of a meal of it, which is a shame to see when fellow professionals try and make a meal out of another player in this day and age. Tony Pulis barking out instructions on the far side. Zaghi is waiting in the centre for this free kick. 38.5 minutes have now been played. Phillips, the former Blackpool and QPR man, to take the free kick for Albion. On right hand side, far side, in with his right foot, in towards Dawson, who got a flick on. I think it came off a defender last. Dawson has hurt himself. It is a corner, and Craig Dawson's in some discomfort there, going for that ball. But Ben Mee had won the header. Did quite well. Dawson is still hurt. I may have to receive treatment. 39 minutes gone. Burnley 0, West Brom 0. Dawson was on his haunches, now he's back on his feet again, feeling the effects, grimacing rather furiously there. He's a tough lad, Dawson. He'll carry on. Tom Heaton is back for prepare to face another West Bromwich Albion corner. Matt Phillips this time to take it. It's going to be right footed from the left hand side, and it's in there towards the 6-yard area. Flick on, and Dawson was there again, and in the end the ball whizzed over the crossbar, but not a lot to spare there in that Burnley defence. A bit all over the show there. Field had got a flick on. Field with the first flick, and then I think Dawson hit, I think it hit the back of Dawson's head. It hit Field on the head. Dawson had got in for it. Field must have got the final touch. 40 minutes gone. Still Burnley 0, West Brom 0. Both teams having some half chances, but no shot yet on target. We've had a few that have just narrowly missed the target, mind you. 0-0. Lowton has lost out to McLean again. Bit of a concern here, Matt Lowton. Has been pickpocketed twice by the ever-willing James McLean. Another Republic of Ireland international, of course. Here's Ben Mee up towards halfway line, just to the left of the centre circle. Plays that in there. Defoe flicking that on this time, and then the ball knocked back. Out to danger. Now Defoe gets it on the halfway line, on the right hand side. Plays it infield to Lowton. Lowton doing well now. Right hand side. Lowton's cross was a good idea, but it was just too high for Sammy Vokes, and out for a goal kick it is. At least Burnley appreciated the. At least the crowd appreciated how Burnley are trying to go about their business this afternoon. Coming towards 41 minutes of the first half gone. In fact, we're now well over past the 41 minutes. But still no goals, and it's a goal kick. Ben Foster takes left footed. Over the halfway line it goes. 3/4 of the way down the field. Flick on there by Rodriguez, but he'll come here for Ward, who just hooks it away in the number 23. Ned Henrik to win the next one. Henrik still there. And takes on Nyram, but Nyram is one possession. But it's still a little bit of a game going on between Nyram and Henrik, and Henrik won the battle because he won the throw. Coming up towards 3 minutes towards half time. Clarets Match Delayed here on the JB Claret YouTube channel. No comments please during the stream. This is a delayed stream. We're not live. Burnley 0, West Bromwich Albion 0. Here's Lowton now on the right hand side. Lowton now in towards Defoe. Defoe now trying to measure the cross, and in it goes, and it comes off a defender. And he won't keep that in, and it will be a corner now to the Clarets as we now go into the closing stages. Exagi couldn't keep that out, and it will be a corner. Now then, big chance here for Burnley to take the lead right on the stroke of time. Ben Mee and Tarkowski, James Tarkowski, that is both forward from the back. Could it be a corner in here from Robbie Brady? With his left foot from the right hand side. They all come in there towards the back post. Here comes Mee! Oh, that was the best chance of the game! Ben Mee from no more than 3 yards out. The goal gaping. The goal at his mercy. Heads wide. And that would have been a huge blow for Burnley to strike against West Brom. Right on the stroke of time. Unmarked in between two Baggies defenders. And just couldn't get a positive enough touch on the ball, and wide it goes by inches. Goal kick given, but undoubtedly and unquestionably the best chance we've had in the game. Foster clears left footed over the halfway line it goes. Rodriguez flicks it on about halfway inside the half, and then Phillips trying to win the next one, which he did, but he's succeeded in just knocking it to Tom Heaton. Heaton kicks off the ground with his right foot. Again, 3/4 of the way up the field. And Vokes this time winning the header. Then Henrik back to Brady rather. And then Henrik continued his run, but ran past the ball and miscontrolled it. Rodriguez, another little dummy there to find James McLean on the near side. Last minute of the first half when we're into. Last 60 seconds of normal time. Burnley 0, West Bromwich Albion 0. And a long ball forward again, but well read by Tarkowski. And a throw it is to West Brom. Still the danger not over yet. We'll take a 5-minute breather and then come back with full second half commentary of this match delayed between Burnley and West Bromwich Albion from Turf Moor. First trip we've made to the turf this season. Here is McLean. McLean now on the near side. Back in field it goes to Brunt. Brunt does well. Marvellous skill. In towards the back post. Heaton will let that go. It will be a goal kick to the Clarets. And we're now inside the last 15 seconds exactly of normal time. And I'm certain Mr. Atkinson will probably hold up at least a minute, maybe two. We're now played exactly now the 45 minutes. The ball being held up, and just the one being added by our fourth official. There he is. So Tom Heaton to take the goal kick then, as we now go well into the closing stages here at Turf Moor. Burnley 0, West Brom 0. Ben Mee with the best chance for Burnley a couple of minutes ago. And here is a chance here for Ward to get it forward. Ward down the left hand side. Ball headed out again, and out for a throw it goes. And here's Ben Mee. Mee gets it forward. Mee looking further forward, and Defoe hooking it up and under. And here's Lawton. We played the 1 minute. Mr. Atkinson probably allow this one last attack to develop for Burnley. Potentially Goodmanson back to Lawton. Lawton's cross. It's a good one. Folks was there, and it's gone behind, but I think the referee has blown for half time. Indeed he has. So there we are. A decent first half. No penetration so far. Goodmanson came close to Burnley. So too did Sam Vokes. Ben Mee had the best chance towards the end. But at half time here at Turf Moor, as we take a 5-minute break here, it is Burnley 0, West Brom 0. But Ben Mee with a glorious opportunity for Burnley. But Burnley have had a lot of the play, but just haven't broke down this resolute West Brom defence. But at half time at Turf Moor, it's Burnley 0, West Brom 0. We'll take a 5-minute break, and we'll be back very soon with the second half. Welcome back to the second half here at Turf Moor. No changes from either side as far as I can tell, as Burnley make their way out onto the field for the second half. Ben Mee with the opening opportunity to put Burnley in front, but to no avail. So as Big Stand, it's the same 11 that took to the field in the first half. We're just awaiting West Bromwich Albion to come out onto the field as the pitch gets a good soaking from the sprinklers. So West Brom are back out now into the field for the second half, and Gudmundsson gets us underway. Then Burnley attacking the goal to our left in the second half, taking the Jimmy McElroy stand, and West Brom attacking the Ladbrokes cricket field stand, which is the new sponsorship deal after the existing one with David Fishwick didn't come to fruition. Here's Gudmundsson pulling it back, and Vokes with a shot just over the top. Good opportunity there for Burnley right at the start of the second half. Gudmundsson again involved down the right hand side, and ball back towards the right of the D, and Sam Vokes almost making it pay here. Gudmundsson, a good run, did well, hooked the ball back well, but Vokes with his right foot just didn't get a good contact that he would have liked, and in fact caressed the ball over the crossbar for a goal kick. And away we go again. Up towards Tarkowski, and he bundles a player to the ground. Free kick. So it's still the same 11s. And we have a minute of the second half gone, and a free kick of the second half to West Brom. Just 5 yards inside the Burnley half, inside the centre circle. Brunt with his left foot curls it in towards the penalty area, headed away by Vokes, but only halfway. Livermore with the first shot. Livermore again deflected and in, but Rodriguez I think was standing in an offside position, so the goal would not stand. Might have been offside there against Rodriguez, as Livermore had the original shot. But no complaints from West Brom as it came to Livermore here. And as I can see on the replay, it was the first shot rather than the second shot that Rodriguez was pulled up for, because as soon as he hit the original shot, Livermore, Rodriguez was standing a good yard or so offside. So the referee's assistant got that one right on the near side. Good, well played by the linesman, as hooked away there by Cork, up to over halfway. Still 0-0 here in the Clarets Match Delayed from Turf Moor. Burnley 0, West Bromwich Albion 0. Burnley so far have had a lot of the play, a lot of the possession, have had the best chances, but still no goals. West Brom have had the ball in the net, but it's disallowed for offside. Here's Lawton, and he's won a throw on the right hand side. Did really well, Matt Lawton, very impressed. Chris Brunt, James McLean arguing the decision. There's a bit of a hothead, the Irishman, I have to say. James McLean, he doesn't impress me with his gamesmanship. He's a terrific footballer when he gets the opportunity, but sometimes I just don't like his attitude to some things, and it's been proven there. A promising career that really went downhill at Sunderland, but now hopefully he's coming back to form under Tony Pulis, as the ball is laid back towards Brady. Brady did well, tried to get Ward in, but Nyram stuck to his guns very, very well. Right, Ward concedes a throw to Nyram, and it's a throw to West Brom, just 3/4 of the way inside, 3/4 of the way down the field, and in fact it's level with the edge of the West Brom area, or is it more near the edge of the 6 yard line? Looks like it. So there is the throw taken by Nyram, long up there towards Rodriguez, who couldn't flick it on there, and then there's a game of head tennis which Ward ended up winning when bows it away. Again a game of head tennis. Rodriguez again involved, but gives it straight to Jack Cork. Cork now running through in the middle. Cork doing terrifically well, but just running into trouble at the last seconds. Jack Cork, former teammate of Rodriguez's at Burnley when he was on loan here under Brian Lords, and of course when Rodriguez went down to Southampton, Cork was already there. Lawton concedes the throw. Midway inside the Burnley half. No changes from either side. Remember, referee Martin Atkinson from West Yorkshire is the referee. We've had 3.5 minutes of the second half. Burnley 0, West Brom 0. Throw taken by West Brom, headed partially away by Defoe. Then Ben Mee mops up the extras. Defoe hooks it away on the half volley, up towards the box on halfway, and then headed back by Brady. Finds Ward. Ward down the left hand side to Brady. Brady does well. Tries to hold it up. Asks a bit of Ward there. And in fact, Phillips almost pinching it away for West Brom. But it's with Nyram. Nyram in field to Barry. One of the most experienced players with over nearly 700 odd games at Premier League level. You can't get much better than that. Very consistent player, Barry. And there, is that a free kick? Well, West Brom wanting a free kick. I think they've got it against Stephen Ward. Well, it's looked as if he was bundled to the ground here. Let's have a look at it again on the replay. I'm just having a look. Well, I think Phillips is going down in instalments, but he's bought the decision here. Ward is trying to stay strong with him. Phillips has got too much pace. No, to be fair to Phillips, he was kicked out at by Ward, so it was a free kick. I don't think there was any much argument about that. Chris Brunt will take the free kick. A good set piece specialist, as we all know. One will say, and it's just to the right of the penalty area, just almost over the edge of the 6-yard box, yarding from the penalty area. Brunt tried to curl one in straight through, just missed the angle post and crossbar by a few inches in the end. He's got a very good whip set piece repertoire, and you can tell he was going for a shot there. He tried to curl it, they just didn't have enough curl on the ball to trouble Tom Heaton, although it wasn't too far wide in the end. Goal kick it is. It's with Foster now. Foster kicks long, up and over the halfway line it goes. Ward in there with the challenge, but it comes to Matt Phillips. Phillips does well, runs down the right hand side. Phillips cuts inside, hits Ward, and that has been prevented, and it's a throw to West Brom, level with the penalty area. Could have been far worse for the Clarets. It could have easily been a corner, and they defended the play well. Nyram to take it. The number 2, right on the, just almost level with the penalty area, into Barry, and then Nyram now crosses in with his left foot in towards the penalty area, looking for McLean, but it's out over on the far side, and a goal kick to the Clarets. 7 minutes of the second half almost elapsed. 7.5 minutes, I should say, have almost elapsed. There we go. Tom Heaton with the goal kick. Comes up, strikes it right footed. Through the centre it goes. 3/4 of the way up the field, looking for Vokes. Field one in the header though. Halfway inside the West Brom half. Now it's touched back to Lawton. Lawton in field to Defoe. Defoe back to Lawton. Lawton back to Tarkowski. Defoe getting it forward to Goodmanson on the far side, and referee Atkinson deciding that Brunt was the guilty party, and having a little bit of afters there, I think, with Lawton. Certainly a free kick behind, went in from behind. Bit fortunate maybe Brunt not to get a yellow card for that. Burnley on the attack with Cork. Cork trying to ask a lot of his man there, and it was Stephen Ward he was trying to find, and in the end it's gone out for a throw midway inside the West Brom half. That's a lot of poor old Stephen Ward. It would have taken a huge miracle to get there. It wasn't the best ball that they've been playing, that's been played down towards the left hand side, and they've had a lot of joy on the left of the Clarets. So far no breakthrough, which is quite worrying really, because the more chances Burnley squander, the more West Brom can catch them out. Goodmanson now running towards running down the right hand side, tries to cut in field, has done, has found Jack Cork. Will Cork have a shot? No, he'll play it in there towards Vokes, and he deflects away, and it will be a corner to Burnley. Brunt taking no chances there. He took no chances, that is for sure. So Burnley have a corner as we come into towards the 10th minute of the second half. Burnley 0, West Bromwich Albion 0 is the scoreline. Tarkowski and Mee both forward from the back. real opportunity. A corner to be taken from the far side here at Turf Moor. 0-0. Henrik Tarkowski, me, Vokes, all within the vicinity. Robbie Brady. Eyes were just checking that's on the corner quadrant, and it is. So it's going to be the left foot of Brady from the right hand side. In it comes towards the 6-yard box. Me again was jumping. West Brom have won the shot, and then a shot back in, got a huge deflection from Stephen Defoe. I think it might have come off a Burnley man last, because they're all going away from the penalty area, so it will be a goal kick. But me winning ahead of Dawson with the header only half out, and then the shot actually hit Jeff Henrik on its way through, and that is the reason why we have a goal kick. And still no breakthrough here at Turf Moor as we're now well into the 10th minute of the second half. Foster with the kick, left footed, over the halfway line it goes, towards the right hand side of things here. Livermore lost possession, now Brady wins it. Ball just ricocheted away from him there, Jake Livermore. And a good ball out towards Goodmanson if he can be found, but Brunt was there first. Good position there by the West Brom left back. And here's a chance here for McLean to make some inroads, but it's with Lowton again. Lowton infield to Cork. Cork doing terrifically well. Sprays a lovely ball to Stephen Defoe, or to Ward, sorry, on the left hand side. Ward, left hand side, first time cross, a little bit behind perhaps, but it will reach Lowton, or Goodmanson rather. Goodmanson turning, swiveling, and he finds Cork. Cork hits it, deflected away off Gareth Barry, and Barry did well to get a body on the line and sort of block the shot. Brunt in there to win the next challenge, and it's a throw to Burnley, still deep inside West Brom territory on the far side. Throw infield to Cork. He's got a bit of space here, Jack Cork. He can run towards the right. Goodmanson is there. Goodmanson gets a crossing left footed towards Vokes, but he could not be found. Now Henrik to Ward to win the next ball away from Phillips, but not Nyren. Nyren just hoofs it out for a throw again. Burnley now in this opening period of the second half, we've had something like almost 12 minutes of it gone. Asking one or two questions of this West Brom rear guard. The Burnley fans getting right behind their team. Still 0-0. McLean winning that one into centre circle. Now in towards Livermore. Livermore with lovely skill, lovely control. Finds Brunt on the left hand side. Infield once more to Livermore. Livermore inside the centre circle. In towards Phillips. Phillips strikes a shot from over 30 yards, and he strikes it left footed into the crowd, into the cricket field stand behind Tom Eaton's goal, and a goal kick it is to the Clarets. Phillips on his left foot, as I say, about 30-40 yards from goal, 30-35 yards maybe from goal. I think 40 was probably a bit too far out. We've been asking him what to score for 40 yards. Here's Stephen Defoe. Robson Kanu looks as if he's going to be coming on for West Brom as we're now rapidly coming up towards an hour gone in the game. A quarter of an hour in fact gone in the second half also. Tarkowski now to Cork. Cork over the halfway line. Lovely one-touch passing from Burnley, looking very sharp as their passing has always been, lovely and crisp. But here's Welton to get it forward, but it's ready to traffic, and here comes Nyren for West Brom. He's got Phillips out on the right hand channel. Phillips will run into a bit of space here. He's up against Stephen Ward, and there's a former Wolves player fancy Mike Phillips, and gets a good crossing, or he gets a good block in, Ward, and it will be a corner. He claimed it came off Phillips last, but the referee's assistant says corner, and Martin Atkinson says corner as well. So a bit of defending here for Burnley to do. Coming up towards 58 minutes gone. Clarets match delayed. Burnley 0, West Brom 0. Exagi comes forward from the back. Barry's in there too. Dawson's up from the back. McLean just on the edge, about 5 yards from the edge of the D. Brunt to take the corner from the near side. Again left footed. They're all wait. Rodriguez is in there too. Chris Whiteman, Mad Claret 94, predicted on LTF this morning that as that corner came in, it's hooked away. It might drop from McLean here. Chris Whiteman predicted that Jay Rodriguez would score the winning goal today. If you've seen LTF, you understand what I'm talking about. As As Burnley now look to try and clear a bit of danger. This is probably the toughest period of the second half they've had thus far in the game. Still, it will break here for Dawson. He gets a good tackle in. Burnley will get a throw and relieve a little bit of respite perhaps on that defence. Still no goals as we speak at Turf Moor late into the afternoon with just around about half an hour left to play. But we've now got half an hour exactly now left to play. 60 minutes on the clock. Burnley 0, West Brom 0. And here's Ward now. Goodly 1-2. Ward now will get the cross in early. Good ball in. West Brom getting it half away. They'll drop for Cork. Now Brady to his right. Brady now, middle of the park. 25 yards from goal. Defoe to his right. Defoe cuts in. Comes to the right hand side. Might have to here. Gudmundsson touches it back. Lowton with a first time cross. It's a good one towards Sam Vokes, but it's headed out. And it will be a corner, is it? Or is it a throw? Well, Gudmundsson's going over to take it, regardless of what it is. Sam Vokes doing expertly well. It's taken short, in fact, the throw to Lowton. Lowton knocking it back again. Defoe now with a cross in with his right foot from the right, but it's going to come away for Phillips. Phillips to knock it back to Nyren. Nyren down the left hand side, trying to get something going for Albion. Rodriguez holding it up well, but it's out of play. Burnley throw. Burnley getting on with it straight away. As Lawton comes on. And here's Gudmundsson with a cross now from the right hand side in towards Sam Vokes. Now I'm hooking it out. So we've had an hour here at Turf and still no goals thus far in the game. On ball forward again, but it'll drop for Tarkowski. Tarkowski doing well. Good play again. Burnley playing their way out of danger. Here's Ben Mee now over the halfway line. Mee in towards Brady. Brady running at pace here. And Brady trying the shot just well wide of target on the far side and out for a goal kick. Brady acknowledging he may have had options both left and right, but he went for goal. And here comes the first substitution of the afternoon, and it's going to be James McLean, I think, to make way. Hal Robson-Kanu, who last time we covered him, was in a Welsh shirt, and he scored that magnificent goal in that quarter-final, you may remember, against Belgium in the Euros. It was also noted that Sam Vokes got the third goal also in that game as well. So McLean off, Robson-Kanu on. So a new threat for Burnley to worry about a little bit. Hasn't scored too many goals since he joined from since he joined on the 3. He was formerly of Reading, of course, you may remember. And he's certainly a player that scored a bag full of goals for Reading. He's a Welsh international, as we said, and he scored a couple of goals in last year's European Championships. Here's Brady now touching it on towards Defoe. Defoe out towards Cork. Cork now going, the ball going from sort of left to right. Now the ball being played towards the left. And now here's Ben Mee just outside the centre circle with just 5 yards or so inside the West Bromwich Albion half, and then the ball played infield. Chance here for now Henrik tricked, but sure he was on the edge of the box. 3-kick Burnley. Dawson the offender, and it was right inside the D as well. It was perilously close to the penalty area. Referee Ellen getting out his banishing spray. No yellow card here for Dawson, and he had a whack out at Henrik. It was dangerous play, really. Should have been a yellow. We've had 64 minutes. Burnley 0, West Brom 0, and it's something like 19 yards from goal here, this free kick. And West Brom here well and truly on the back foot. Defoe sizing it up. I think Brady might have a piece of this as well. Yes, both Defoe, the Belgium, and Brady, the Irishman, both having a conference here. 5 in the Albion wall, and being built by Ben Foster in all green. So it's just to the left of centre, only slightly. Could be set up for the right foot of Defoe or the left foot of Brady. Who's going to have it? It's Brady with the left foot into the wall. It comes out to Ward. Hits it there, and it's hit a couple of players as well, and it's come away again. Lawton now to get it in there once again. Burnley now on the front foot, but they still need to score the opening goal if they're going to get anything out of this game. At least defend and get it to a 0-0. Even a 0-0 draw would not be the worst result in the world for Burnley, but put them on 4 points. That's a foul there by Jeff Henrik, who appeals the decision. Dawson has won the free kick. Having said that, though, I think Dawson elbows into Henrik. Bertie the Bee looks on. There's a smile on his face, but I'm sure the guy inside the costume will be just as concerned as every Burnley fan is right now that we're not really they're not in the lead at the moment. It's good to see Bertie the Bee there sat in with the guys in the disabled, the wheelchair access, which is stadium's had 1 or 2 upgrades as regards the facilities for wheelchair users and disabled people and the like. And I think football clubs have been a bit ignorant to people of that ilk for many years, and hopefully the needs of the people less able than our good selves are going to be more catered for, and hopefully there'll be top-notch facilities for the disabled people. Meanwhile, still in the game, 0-0. Free kick to Burnley for offside. Tom Heaton to take it with his right foot in an all fluorescent orange goalkeeping kit this afternoon, and it goes towards Tarkowski. It might drop for Brady, but it dropped for Nyram instead. Coming up towards 67 minutes. In fact, we're now into the 67th minute. We've had 67 minutes. Burnley 0, West Brom 0. Nyram for West Brom, down there right hand side, up towards Hal Robson-Kanu. Ben Mee using his strength superbly, and then Robson-Kanu rather go down a little bit in installments. Bit of a soft free kick for Burnley, and Jack Court to concede right on halfway, so a bit of possible defending for Burnley to do, and they need to get that right on halfway because the offence took place right on halfway line and not 5 yards. He's nicked a few yards from me there as a Dawson. That's cheated. Martin Atkinson should be telling him to get it back to its original spot. He's stolen a few yards there, Dawson, with the free kick, and the Burnley fans aren't liking that. And why isn't the referee doing anything as that free kick from Dawson? He stole 5 crucial yards which could have made all the difference. Still might in the end as Phillips played that in. Header out once more. Thankfully that hasn't come to fruition, but I am fed up of players not taking 3 kicks from the correct position. Dawson, quite clearly, when the free kick was given on the halfway line on the right hand side, clearly didn't put the ball anywhere near where the offence took place and tried to steal a few yards there, and I don't like that. I think that's out and out cheating. 68.5 minutes gone. Still no breakthrough in this match at Turf Moor between Burnley and West Brom. And here's Ben Mee. Ben Mee gets it forward. And here's Brady. Brady just needs to get things going again for Burnley. Cork plays it out towards Lawton. Lawton now to Gudmundsson. That's good play there. Gudmundsson was absolutely taken out. Advantage play there by the referee. Surely he has to pull that back. Surely he has to pull that back. Martin Atkinson, what are you doing? Pull the game back. It's an absolute no-brainer for me. It's a foul, definitely on Goodmanson. He played an advantage. He knew there was no advantage coming. He should have pulled the play back. What does Martin Atkinson think he's doing? How on earth can you not give advantage and then foresee it's not coming and then not pull the game back? And it should have been a Burnley free kick. Ridiculous refereeing. Give the advantage, yes, and if you don't think it's going to be, bring the incident back from the free kick. Ridiculous. Absolutely, utterly ridiculous. Still 0-0 as we come towards 70 minutes gone. At Turf Moor. Burnley being frustrated here by a stubborn West Brom defence. And you know full well when... here's a flick on B, Worcester header, and Robson Connor's got away for Ward, and away from a lane challenge by Tarkowski, and finishes superbly with his left foot into the net. Tom Eaton was badly exposed, and the Welsh international, Hal Robson-Kanu, has put West Brom in the lead, and it's come, you have to say, against the run of the play, but Burnley have only themselves to blame, and three players must take the blame. First of all, Ben Mee for not being strong enough in the earlier headed challenge which Rodriguez won, and then lame challenges by Ward and Tarkowski which allowed Robson-Kanu to get past the two of them quite easily, James Tarkowski especially, and it all came about from a poor throw really, and it was stuck away by Brogdon. It was one long ball, and really Phillips shouldn't have been allowed to get me off the ball. Lame challenge there from Ward. Lame still challenge from Tarkowski, who I am really beginning to think now is being found out. Should do better for me, Tarkowski. And that is a glorious finish for West Brom, and it's a terrific finish with the left foot. He's lethal in those situations. We've seen that so many times for Reading when he played down there for them. And West Brom, if it stays this same way, will emulate that brilliant Ron Atkinson team of the late 70s, 1978-79, where they finished, I think they finished in the top 5 or 6 of the first division, and it was the season, remember, for when they went to Old Trafford and won 5-3 in that epic in Christmas 1978. Cyril Regis, Brendan Batson, and all that lot. Laurie Cunningham. 3 degrees they had in there. Bomber Brown, Tony Godden the goalkeeper. They had some really good players in those days. Are this West Brom side of 2017-18 about to emulate the class of 78-79 and win first 2 games on the spin? They haven't done it since then in the top division. They're on the way now. Here's Tarkowski. Forward it goes. And Burnley have got a lot of work to do now. They need to score at least once to force a draw, 2 to win the game outright. Here is Jack Cork winning possession, but he's lost it, and Ben Mee now has it. Mee to Lawton. Lawton only turned to Defoe. Defoe in towards Cork. Cork doing okay. Certainly for a few players to blame there on that goal. Certainly Ben Mee, certainly Stephen Ward, certainly James Tarkowski. They've all got to take a slice of the blame for me. Lane defending that left Tom Eaton badly exposed, and from the moment Robson-Kanu got through, and he could get through again, Tarkowski has to be strong. He's completely, Tarkowski got himself in a tangle and could have easily given Robson-Kanu, in fact Tarkowski has given away the free kick, but that's all down to his own stupid fault really. Tarkowski dawdling about, Kanu taking the ball off him quite fairly and squarely, and yes, Tarkowski did take him. Silly play from Tarkowski. Really was silly play. Should know better. He's having a nightmare for the last 3 or 4 minutes, James Tarkowski. There's no question about it. A cheap free kick to West Brom to be given, and it all came about from Tarkowski's silliness. And if West Brom score from him here, Tarkowski will have to take the blame. Phillips with the 3 kick, right footed into the mix once again. They all converge on it. Dawson was right in there. In fact, Ben Mee I think won the header and bailed his centre half from a real embarrassment there. I think Tarkowski is being found out by Premier League teams. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, but from what I've seen today, Tarkowski looks definitely out of his depth, certainly from what I've seen in the last 4 or 5 minutes. Lame on the goal, very lame indeed. And the concession of that free kick just gone, which could have led to a second West Brom goal. Tarkowski really needs to get his head out the clouds, because quite honestly, It's not good enough. Free kick to Burnley. Tom Heaton saying, I'm having this, taking a free kick. He's telling everybody to get forward. And he finds Tarkowski, who really needs to up his game in my opinion. Tarkowski now runs towards the edge of the area, and then he has to play the ball back. And now in acres of space, he's coming up towards the halfway line. Finds Henrik, back to me. Now Tarkowski needs to get his head up. Because let's face it, the last 5 minutes has not been very good for him at all. He's been absolutely terrible. He was found out big time by Morata. He's been found out big time today by Hull Robson Kanu. I know, let's be fair, Ben Mee and Stephen Ward will have to take shared responsibility too with Tarkowski. Poked away by Heaton, and now Heaton slicing that out of touch, and this is not helping anyone with a quarter of an hour to go. Burnley are on the back foot here. It's a dodgy few moments. Here's Rodriguez. Rodriguez on the far side, gets the cross in there, and Robson Kanu with another free header. Poor defending again from Burnley, but this time Robson Kanu not deadly enough with the finish, and it goes wide of target. But well, since the goal, West Brom have really got those tails right up here. Rodriguez with a lovely cross, I have to say, and Robson Kanu, better contact, and then Tom Heaton could have had a problem. That's awful defending again, this time from Ben Mee and Stephen Ward. They've got to get their defensive game on here, Burnley. They're not doing enough for me, and that's why they're 1-0 down. If you fail to deal with a long ball from Chris Brunt, then you're asking for trouble. Well, we have yet to use a substitution, by the way. They have John Walters on in reserve. He's not my favourite player, but he could do a job if he comes on. Ashley Barnes is on the bench as well. Here's Stephen Defoe now for Burnley. They need to create something, Burnley, because they're starting to run out of ideas. There are some substitutions. Activity taking place on the far side. Ball back again towards Ben Foster, who's probably had a quietish second half than he had the first, really. Here's Lowton to hook it away for Burnley. And out of play it goes, and it's just frustration all around Turf Moor here. And the fact of the matter is, for large periods Burnley have played quite well, but have just been caught out. And this is what happened. It came from a throw here, and it was just lazy defending. As soon as Brunt hit that ball forward, Ben Mee should have been watching Phillips as well as the ball. Then Ward should have done better against Robson Kanu, and Tarkowski was, well, he was woeful. They should have used his strength a lot better, and it was a pathetic attempt at trying to tackle Robson Kanu. And he should have, even if I know he was the last man and everything, but you've got to make a better attempt. Even if you mistime it and risk being sent off, at least you're still in it at 0-0. At 1-0 it's doubly difficult, or triply difficult. And that is the point. You have to take a punt and take a risk, and Tarkowski was not prepared to do it, and he's lost the goal because of double substitution. Burnley might as well go for it now. They're taking off Robbie Brady, so I think Barnes will probably play on the flank and Walters will play through the centre. Walters in fact has replaced Brady. 12 minutes left, sorry, of the game. In fact, they've taken both wide men off and put two strikers on it, so it looks as if to me that Barnes and Goodmanson are going to play as a front three alongside Vokes. So Burnley having to go for it here, and they're going to go through in the middle now. I think they'll start humping long balls up now, to be quite honest with you, because I think the way the squad is, there's no acceleration, no pace at all in the team. That has been a plain to see here today. West Brom, of course, Burnley will not face West Brom every other week, that is for sure. West Brom, you try and match up to them. Tony Pulis, with his reputation, will always beat anyone at his own game. Now then, is there a twist in the tail here for Burnley? Jack Cork knocking it forward up towards Walters. Did well there. Oh, it almost fell for Barnes, and Dawson got there first. It nearly came off the substitution then for Burnley. Tarkowski, heavy first touch. He just about does well to keep that in play. Finds Jack Cork. We're now heading towards the last 11 minutes. A long ball again, tossed in towards Barnes, who goes down in a bit of a heat there, and he's hurt himself. He's the sort of player, I have to say, that will throw himself about. Rodriguez showing a bit of concern there. That's good sportsmanship. Barnes was certainly second best in the challenge, and he just threw himself, and he just fell awkwardly, really. No blame attached to Inzaghi. He's certainly been in the wards, and Ashley Barnes, it's coming on, has certainly been in the wards. He's feeling the effects of the injury, but he's a tough character. Burnley have a throw almost over in the penalty area. Long throw by Lawton into the mix once again. Inzaghi winning that one away. Did well. And now Defoe. Oh, and that's a foul. That's a foul. That's a ridiculous charge from Dre Rodriguez. The hometown boy, or the former hometown boy, is going to be penalised. It's certainly a foul. Nothing more, nothing less than that. No yellow card necessary. I think Martin Atkinson got the decision correct. And now a free kick. 10 minutes just under to play. Stephen Defoe. What's his... Can he get a magic right foot special? We saw him not too many times. He's got a magic right foot on him. Has he got one good delivery in him? Tarkowski, can he come forward and make up for his mistake on the goal? It's a poor free kick from Defoe. It'll come out, and it's shot over the top into the stand. And I think it was it Lowton who had the shot from just outside the box? It was, with his right foot, and he almost caught the top tier of the McElroy still with that one. Bang, but over. Still it remains 1-0. And Ben Foster taking a heck of a long time. This is not helping anybody, really. I hate it when goalkeepers take forever to take kicks. And Ben Foster not winning too many friends inside turf ball with his blatant time wasted. Burnley have a throw on the far side down the right hand channel. They've got to come up with something now to get themselves back into this match. Have they got something left in the tank? You'd like to think they have. Burnley 0, West Bromwich Albion 1. It's not the scoreline that we're all hoping for at the moment, but there's still a little bit of time left plus stoppage time. They ought to be adding on a few more minutes at the end, I would have thought. Another 4, maybe 5 minutes at the end of the game so far. Burnley still looking to try and take it to the 11 men of West Brom, now defending this 1-goal lead. I think they're going to come here and just sit on this 1-goal lead. It's Barnes turns inside the area but shoots over the top, and another goal kick to West Bromwich Albion. Just don't think it's going to be Burnley's day. Long ball forward. Ward won it, and then Barnes had to swivel and turn, and then shooting the 1-4 swoop on his right foot. Ward did really well to get it forward to him, actually. And Barnes just couldn't keep the shot down. I think the ball bounced a little too high for him as he swiveled and turned and shot. Still 1-0 to West Brom, and they are hanging on in there. Tony Pulis. He's always had the Indian sign over Burnley in Premier League football. And that was a clear elbow by Robson Canu on the far side. Red card! Yes, deservedly so. Well played, Mr. Atkinson. And now Robson Canu can have absolutely no complaints. It was a blatant elbow as you'll ever see on Matt Lowton. It was petulant. It was plain stupid. And on another day, I mean, that could have... Lawton is receiving treatment there. There's no doubt about it. He is out for the count. And Al Robson Canu has got himself stupidly sent off. He can have no complaints. Al Robson Canu, red card. Had to go. Had to go. No. I mean, we're looking at a replay now. Look at him. And I don't care what anyone says, that is a blatant as elbows you'll see all season. It's thuggish, it's stupid, it's ridiculous, it is petulant, it's violent conduct in my book, and the goal scorer has deservedly been sent off, and West Brom deserve to be down to 10 men. That was thuggish from Hal Robson Canu, who should know better, a player of his international experiences, and wakes the walk of shame, being roundly booed, and he's taking his time to get off the field. He took 2 minutes. The referee should be adding on time. That was stupid from Tony Pulis' side, really was. Robson Canu should have been off the pitch quickly. He deserved to be sent off though. Ball towards the penalty area, out for a goal kick to Albion, and cue more time wasted from Ben Foster. 6 minutes to go, and Mr. Atkinson should be making a note of this blatant time wasting, because it's the Burnley fans quite rightly getting on Ben Foster's back because he's taking an age. I mean, that 30 seconds it's taken him to even retrieve a ball from about 5 yards away. Ridiculous. This West Brom gamesmanship is pathetic. And now are they trying to get a substitution on Tony Pulis' side? Rondon is going to come on, and that's going to be at least another 40 seconds for the substitution. And who's going off here? Number 28 is going to come off. It's Field, and he needs to hurry up. And he's taken an age here. They've wasted about 3 or 4 minutes here, West Brom. They should be adding 6, maybe 7 minutes on at the end here. 5 minutes of normal time to go. I tell you what, if it's any more less than 5 minutes, there will be a murder done inside Turf Moor, that is for sure. Because Ben Foster's took an eternity, the substitution took an eternity. Al Robson-Cano took at least 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes to go off the field, having been shown his marching orders by referee Martin Atkinson, who should be refereeing this better. He should be telling Ben Foster to get on with it. He should have told Robson-Cano to get off the pitch as quickly as possible, get the game flowing. You could tell it's a trick from Tony Pulis to waste time, pure and simple. And I think it will be an automatic 3-game ban for Robson-Cano. He might appeal it, but I don't think he's got a case. He absolutely clattered into Lawton and elbowed the geezer. Here's a chance now for Lawton. Going towards the penalty area it went. Still might drop for Defoe. Burnley now playing against 10 men. We've got about 4 minutes just over to go. Rodriguez will get it away, but only as far as Lawton. Burnley coming forward, 4 minutes to go, into the penalty area it goes. Barnes with a header back, away by West Brom, but not away enough. Still Burnley have it. Barnes takes over, Ward on the left side. Ward gets the cross in and Ben Foster catches, and now we'll waste even more time and try and wind down the clock. Martin Atkinson has to tell him to get on with it. He has to get on with it, folks. Telling him to get on with it. Telling him to get on with it, and Burnley, why isn't the 6-second rule being applied? I don't understand why referees do not imply the 6-second rule for goalkeepers. That should have been an indirect free kick. Here is Sam Vokes. Vokes now for Burnley. Can Burnley hold on or get themselves an equaliser? Is there an opportunity here for Defoe? Defoe now on the far side. Then the cross comes in towards Walters. Walters with a header down. Barnes is there, offside given, and that will waste a few more seconds for West Brom, unfortunately. Barnes, well, I'm not sure whether that was offside. I need to have a look at an action replay. Sean Dyche is furious at this blatant time wasting from Ben Foster, and why isn't Martin Atkinson clapping down on this? It's just blatant utter time wasting. Why isn't he not pulling him up? It's just absolutely preposterous. Ben Mee winning the header. Foster did take the kick about 30 seconds. He should be added on about 7 or 8 minutes for me. Here's Barnes, keeps it in on the far side. Barnes does well. Good crossing. Walters is there. He might drop for Barnes, but it's hooked away by West Brom. And it's all hands on deck for West Bromwich Albion now, as we go into the closing stage of the game. Ball forward here towards Phillips, who'll just take that into the corner. West Brom unsurprisingly haven't thrown too many men forward. It comes off Phillips last. He didn't play it off Ward. 2 minutes just under to go. And then surely the linesman and the fourth official's got to add time on. All this, the amount of time it took for Robson-Cano, that was a good 2 minutes. It should be 7 or 8 as that ball gets in towards the area. Comes to Brady. Brady shoots. Oh, Robert Henrik shoots, I should say. I got a bit tongue-tied in all that excitement. Balling towards folks. It was half away, and then in the end, Jeff Henrik coming in there. I got all tongue-tied there, as I was saying, and over the bar it went. And to the vast disappointment of everybody in the crowd, over the crossbar, and should have kept that one down, but didn't. Still 1-0. Here comes the kick. Waiting for a controversial finish here. We're now in the last minute of the second half, and then the fourth official will have to have a look at really adding on 6 or 7 minutes at the end, because West Brom's time wasting has been there for all to see. 20 odd thousand inside Turf Moor have seen some really blatant time wasting, and it's a corner now to Burnley. We're inside the last, coming up towards the last 30 seconds of normal time. Walters is in there. Can Burnley snatch a late equaliser? It would be well deserved on the balance of play, but sometimes in life you don't get what you always want. Ben Mee and Tarkowski both over and about. They play short to Cork. Cork, first touch was heavy, but he got it back to Defoe. Defoe now, good skills, crosses in with his right foot. Fox with a header over the bar. We've played 90 minutes. As we see a replay of the goal opportunity again. Defoe, good cross, picked his spot, and Vos couldn't keep the header down. Oh, Sean Dyche knows that was a chance gone begging. And again, Foster taking an age over this goal kick. It's blatant time wasted. He's taken about 30 seconds. The Burnley fans telling him to get on with it. And I think the stoppage time board's gone up for only 4 added minutes, I'm being told. Well, that is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. It should have been 6 or 7 minutes for time added on. I am absolutely perplexed by the fourth official's estimations there. As that ball comes in towards Barnes, inside the penalty area, tries to dig it out towards Vokes, but he couldn't succeed, and away comes Barry. And Burnley just can't make it pay in the final third. The officials have really had an appalling last 10 minutes for me. Apart from the red card which they got right, they failed miserably to clamp down on this blatant time wasting from West Bromwich Albion. The goalkeeper in particular, it took Al Robson-Connor a good 2 minutes to get off the field, having received the red card. Pulis is complaining about something. Then there was the Ben Foster situation. Then there was the substitution, of course. Here comes Tom Eaton. Eaton now towards the centre circle. Kicks forward 10 yards inside from halfway. Comes out to Cork. Cork to knock it back into the penalty area. Foster's got it. And then Foster takes a tumble. And, well, I think... Oh, that's ridiculous! Against Ashley Barnes, he never even touched Foster, and you could tell on Foster's face he had that decision bought. Hardly touched him, caught the ball, but I'm sorry. But if you can't... I think the goalkeepers get way too much protection. Sean Dyche is furious. It's not a free kick. Ben Foster was cheated, and now he's blatantly time wasting here. The referee... Well, I think West Brom have got the referee certainly in the back pocket since the red card. We're well over the halfway mark of time added on. Here's Defoe to Cork, still in his own half. Back to Defoe on the halfway on the right hand side. Defoe in towards Cork. Defoe will continue to run. Stephen Defoe now for Burnley. First time cross towards Folks. Barnes might come in there. Challenges with the keeper. No foul this time. It's a corner. Ben Foster can have no complaints about that one. He could complain, but that's not a foul. Barnes had every right to jump for that, and Foster should have done better. That's a corner. Corner to Burnley. We're into the last of the 4 minutes. It should have been 6 or 7 for me. Oh, has he been given against him? He's been given against him. Well, that just sums up the referee's performance in the last 5 or 6 minutes. I think him and Foster have got some sort of a wager going here. There's no doubt Tony Pulis has come here with a tactic of breaking the play up. We're now 40 seconds away from the end of the game, and this now it's got to be the last week for Burnley. Long throw into the penalty area, thrown in there towards Vokes. They all went for it. Brady's balling. Oh, Walters! What a chance for Walters! In fact, it was Henrik's ball in, I should have said, and John Walters. What an opportunity of equalising against his former boss. And it should have gone in. That is a poor header. That is a poor finish from a man who was free and marked 8 yards out. Should have hit the target. We've played the 4 minutes. Foster again taking an eternity. There goes the whistle. Is it? No, still play on. Bentley to win the header. And then it's a little bit of scrappiness there. The referee checks his watch and there will now be no more. But it should have been at least 3 minutes more. But to be quite honest with you, Burnley would not have probably not scored in that time anyway. It just wasn't to be their day. West Brom came with a game plan and did the job, to be fair, expertly well. Burnley had most of the play, most of the possession. Best chance of the game, arguably Carroll to Ben Mee and John Walters right at the end. But Hal Robson-Kanu was the match winner after 61 minutes. He got himself stupidly sent off for an elbow, but West Brom have hung on and have beaten Burnley here at Turf Moor by 1-0. And for Burnley, all that optimism after Chelsea has been evaporated in one full swoop, and reality bites for a team that is certainly very short on squad and they need to spend on quality players into the rest of the window. Final score at Turf Moor, Burnley 0, West Brom 1. So a very disappointing day for Burnley, who, to be fair, played well in a lot of the game, but they just couldn't break West Brom down, and it just proves the lack of finishing in certainly the final third of the fields, really, that it just wasn't to be their day. Having said that, though, let's give West Brom a lot of credit, because they are a very good side. They became very resolute, very hard to beat, and in the end got out of jail with 3 points. But well, at the end of the day, it pales into insignificance, the Chelsea scoreline. All that optimism we had after Chelsea, the lack of signings really before the West Brom game, and at the end, West Brom, you try and play against West Brom at their own game, sometimes you ultimately will get punished for it. But there you go, it just begs the question, really. But at the end of the day, it's West Brom who take all 3 points. So let's hear from a very disappointed manager, Sean Dyche, who's talking to Clarets players Darren Bentley.
Yeah, definitely. I thought it was a frustrating one for us and for our fans today, because I think that's a really good performance. Apart from the one blip for a goal, which is just a knock up the pitch, which we didn't deal with as well as we did everything, to be honest, the whole afternoon, because I certainly wouldn't knock them defensively or in attack for that matter. We've created 20 odd chances at goal chances, but there's enough there. You've seen that. Well, all the fans saw the close efforts, and we'd expect to score them on another day. So I thought we deserved something from the game, probably more than just something, probably a win, but this can be frustrating, this game, sometimes.
I think it stands for something like 60-odd% possession, which is good for us, and 20 shots on target. Maybe just not tested Ben Foster enough, perhaps.
Well, the thing that I was more pleased with was the quality of possession. Teams can keep possession, but it doesn't mean anything. But we did today. We were still looking to penetrate. We're still looking to mix the game, make it awkward and uncomfortable for them. It's hard to break down teams sometimes at this level, And I thought we created enough today to get something out of it.
It must be hard to get your head around, because you've put two really good performances in now, haven't you?
Yeah, but that's important, don't forget. Coming out the back of pre-season, when I thought pre-season was good for us, we've got a big win down at Stamford Bridge and a very good performance, and another good performance today. We didn't get anything, but another good performance. And so, I think we want to make sure that the team keeps moving forward. So I mentioned in pre-season, that's one of the key things, because if you keep moving it forward, then you're going to get results at some point. We have done already, we want more, of course.
The old saying that one isn't it? Just a future in performances.
Yeah, and I think it's important to remember that there's no guarantees. You've still got to win, by the way, and now and again you'll take not such a good performance to win. But I think we've done well today.
And you've got a good week to look forward to now. We've got a big cup tie on Wednesday, and then we've got a great trip to Wembley next weekend. So it's a nice week to look forward to.
Well, yeah, I mean, the disappointment of today goes away quickly, because it's a strange kind of disappointment today. You can imagine, from myself and our fans, of course, and players, staff as well, that if you don't perform well and you get nothing, you feel a bit downtrodden with it all. But we've performed very well today and we got nothing, so it's a strange kind of feeling today. Pleased with what I've seen from the players, but just that edge of disappointment, because you want to get points on the board and you want to win games, of course. But these are good times for this club and good times for myself and the team. So another good week coming, and we look forward to that.
Thank you, Cameron.
Thank you.
Well, he's trying to sugarcoat that, but that was a disappointing day at the office, really, for Burnley. It was frustrating, really. They had a lot of chances in the game, the Clarets, but just simply and utterly could not finish. And Robson-Kanu took his goal superbly and deserved to get sent off in the process for a stupid elbow. But before we go on to the Tom Heaton interview, before we finish off tonight, I have to say the officials towards the end of the game, they were, apart from the red card which was deserved to Al Robson-Kanu, they were on West Bromwich Albion side all the time. They didn't add the time on that was necessary. Al Robson-Kanu took a good 2 minutes to get off the field. I mean, he brandished the yellow card brandished to him. And then there was the substitution that took another 30 seconds. And then there was the combined time wasting of not Tom Heaton, but Ben Foster. That was at least a minute and a half. So you're looking at 7, maybe 8 minutes of time added on to add to the 4. So we just, I mean, he added on 4 minutes less than what it should have been. It should have been at least 8 minutes, and I feel that the officials didn't do their jobs. That said, Burnley's finishing was woeful. Certainly in the final third. Walters should have scored at the end. Ben Mee should have scored in the first half, and also the defence was absolutely terrible on the winning goal. Ben Mee poorly outjumped. He was outjumped badly by Matt Phillips. Then Robson-Kanu passed 2 lame challenges past Ward. It was a lame challenge, and even lamer still from Tarkowski. And poor Tom Heaton exposed and coolly finished off, to be fair, with his left foot into the net. And speaking of Tom Heaton, we're going to hear from him now before we leave tonight, and he's talking again with Clarets players Pete Oliver on how he felt this afternoon. Here he is talking with Pete Oliver now.
I guess that goes down as one of them.
Yeah, it does. I thought the performance in terms of the football we played, the mixed football, was excellent today. Restricted them to very little and created quite a few chances. Unfortunately, we've been done with a sucker punch, which you always know is a possibility with West Brom. But unfortunately, we've been done by it today. So on the one hand, obviously, massively frustrating and disappointing with the result, but a lot of positives to take from the performance, and another marker forwards for us in a level in terms of how we're playing that we've set ourselves.
Yeah, very much so. Against sides like that, you will more than compete this season, but I guess not to get anything out of the game is the one frustration. Worst case scenario, I guess we'd have taken 0-0.
Yeah, I think they're a tough side to play. There's no doubt about that. They make it difficult to break down. A lot of big lads in the side. They're very well drilled. You can sort of, doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that. But yeah, I thought we dealt with it really well and imposed ourselves in the game. As I say, created quite a few chances. When on a different day, I think they go in. Again, restricted them to sort of set pieces, which they're dangerous, but I thought we handled that well. And disappointed with conceding that goal. Unfortunately, we have to take it. But as I say, once the dust settles, I know there's going to be a lot of positives from that, because it certainly felt good at times. Some of the football we played was excellent.
Yeah, certainly that first impressive. Just had you got your noses in front, it would have been a different afternoon, I think.
Yeah, probably so, because then they have to come out, of course. We've talked about this year. Setting our standards higher, adding more sort of control in our play, more penetrating play, passing the ball, still mixing the football, of course, and I think that was a great example of it today. All but a finish, and then the result. So hopefully we'll get that next weekend.
Yeah, they never said it'd be easy, of course, and no one's going to come and lie down on turf, particularly after what you did last season.
No, very much so. I think they the argument said they sort of set up expecting what they got, and I think. As I say, the only frustrating thing from us was to concede late on, perhaps not put it in the net ourselves. We've come away with the defeat. But as I say, at the minute it's still quite raw. We're still hurting a little bit. But I think moving forward, as I say, that'll be a good foundation to work from.
Yeah, as you say, lots to build on. Onwards and upwards. The midweek cup tie as well is a real one. Don't know who'll be playing in that, of course, whether the manager makes changes. But if there was ever a chance or way to bounce back, I guess that would be it for the supporters at least.
And for the players, make no mistake, we were all delighted when the draw came in. A fantastic match they're all looking forward to. Obviously today takes the focus in the build-up and the last few days, but now we can turn our sights on that, and what a fantastic evening of football, and we're all looking forward to it, and the preparation starts tomorrow.
Yes, indeed. Yes, we have to concentrate on the Burnley-Blackburn game, I have to say. So the game's gone for us there today. It was on Saturday. it was just one of those days where it just wasn't going to be our day. In the interim, we've signed Chris Wood for £16 million. I will give my own opinion on that on another day, because obviously I've been busy doing the commentary of this game and making sure that you guys got a commentary from Burnley this season again for the Clarets Match Delayed. We will be back on the air on Wednesday night. We're just a little bit unsure which game to cover. Are we going to cover the Liverpool Hoffenheim game? But we just found out on the same night it is Burnley v Blackburn, and if we can get onto that one, we will cover that one live for you. So watch this space. We'll make an announcement on Wednesday to what game we will be covering, but whichever game we don't cover, we will bring regular updates of it. So it will neither be the League Cup tie between Burnley and Blackburn from Ewood Park, or from Anfield, Liverpool take on Hoffenheim in the European Cup. So whichever game we'll cover, we'll certainly cover it for you live, either on this channel. As for the weekend, it's all about Wembley Stadium for us again, as we as Burnley make the trip to Wembley for our Clarets Match Delayed. Join us again on Tuesday. I think we'll be on the air for that one. Join us for that if you can on Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday afternoon for delayed coverage of Burnley against Tottenham, and then it's international breaks, and we'll be following England's progress with great interest over the next week or so as Gareth Southgate's men look to qualify for next year's World Cup in Russia. Well, thank you very much indeed for listening along to this live delayed stream. I hope you very much enjoyed the action here, and the commentary here. Unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be. Burnley is still about 13th in the table as things stand, but until midweek, before we bring you either one or all the games, take care, and from me, JB, have a good night, take care, and we'll see you very, very soon. Till then, good night.